Welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Paul Kelly-Mayer. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. It says so right back there, Your City, Your Voice. In the studios of 4680Q Radio. Yeah, we're always live at noon, in case you're watching the video and you didn't know that. Somebody said, I didn't know you were live at noon. Yeah, we're live at noon on 4680Q Radio. Well, I shouldn't say we. I am. Um, every day we're live at noon. Wednesdays, of course, is Habsolutely. So if you're a Habs fan, you want to tune in for that on Wednesdays. If not, then you probably won't want to listen, although it's a fun show. We have a good time talking about the NHL, but it's all Habs all show, so it's mostly about the Habs. Here we go. Gosh, November 6th, 2025, Straight Talk Thursday, show number 608. We're rolling, and we're headed for 650, then 700. We'll get there. The weather this morning, 43 degrees when I woke up at 5 o'clock. And the barometer is creeping up, sitting at 29.33. This morning, it's full 35 points higher than yesterday at this time. Go figure that one out, but you can understand why we had rain yesterday. Of course, low pressure brings in inclement weather. It's only going to 47 today, but we're going to see some sun, and we are seeing a little bit of sun out there. It's a little bit brighter than yesterday, that's for sure. But rolling into the weekend, we're going to see something different because a 63% chance of rain mañana. Rolling into the weekend, 80% chance on Saturday and 62% chance on Sunday with highs in the low 40s. So sounds like it's going to be that miserable November rain, the cold November rain. It just seems like that's what it's going to be this weekend. But you know what? This gives you a couple of hints. And one of them is to get your car into Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and get it checked out. Get your car in there. Don't procrastinate, because you know what's going to happen. 40 degrees rain, 30 degrees snow, and sleet. And you want to get your car in before that happens, because that's really, really, really miserable weather. Now, you got to be proactive. Take it to Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. He's going to check out your car from top to bottom, front to back, and make sure that it's running A1, correct any problems, get those snow tires on. Whatever you need to do for the winter, your usual routine, that's why you go see Ken Hunter. Change that oil, get that defroster and heater working. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. Let's face it. And Ken will take care of all that for you. Very, very simple. When you take it there, he's going to throw it on his diagnostic equipment. You think that's easy to say? Say that 3 times. And he's going to make sure that any error codes are fixed and you're good to go for the winter. He also has a full body shop. So if you get in a wreck, guess what? He's going to fix your car, send it back to you in showroom condition. How can you lose? Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. WildBillsAuto.ca is his website. Go there and get your car checked out. Don't fool around. And while you're at wildbillsauto.ca, jump over to YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, Paul Lemire. Check out Your City, Your Voice. Subscribe. We have 185 subscribers. We're headed to 200. We're almost there. Oh, come on. Let's go. 15 more subscribers. Share the video. Share it with your friends. Get them to subscribe. It costs nothing. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like the show, which some people probably don't, I would imagine. And leave a comment. Tell us why you don't like something. Argue with me. Tell me why you think I'm full of baloney. Why not? What the heck? That's what it's all about. It's about discourse. It's about talking. And at the end of the day, what we want to do is make sure that everybody's aware, everybody's in tune with the election next year, so we can get the council we deserve. Got it? Okay, that's why you subscribe. That's why you listen to the show. That's why you share ideas with your friends and get them out to vote. It's really, really important that we get out to vote and have our vision for the city, have our words heard by city council. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's move on. We have 2 other sponsors that are coming up, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company. We'll talk about them later in the show. Now, if you have a comment during the show, I got this little puppy right here. Compliments of my good buddy Gary Wilkins. And all you have to do if you have something to say is text me at 289-994-7560. Send me a text. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Here we go. Yeah, you send it and thing. Gary Wilkins likes your city, your voice, of course. And we'll get your comment on here. Talk about it. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. 289-994-7560. That's how simple it is. Text it. I'll get a ding-a-ling-a-lingy here. And once I get the ding-a-ling, we'll talk about it. Now, if you're commenting on the video, that's fine. I have a couple comments here. At Michelle Garrett, 7813. Crazy, Paul. Everyone else, volumes were down for Halloween. So I was just saying we had about 45 kids on Halloween night at my house. And Michelle lives kind of right behind me. So it's strange. She said volumes were down at her place. We're not that far away. I mean, we're right next to each other, actually. So it's interesting. They came into the Crescent and were wandering around. But yeah, we had about 45 kids, which is up for us. To be honest with you, up. We usually get less. And another comment, Dave Wheeler, 1158, my buddy Dave, he does city council with me. He'll be here next week on Remembrance Day. We do a Remembrance Day show every year. So tune in for that one. We talk about one aspect of the wars and talk about it, honor our veterans, recite in Flanders Fields, have a moment of silence in respect to our veterans and those who are serving the military today. So it's a really good show. We always do that every year. It's tradition on Your City, Your Voice. And Dave Wheeler said acclimatized. He corrected me on how to say that. When you get acclimatized to something, I was stumbling on that word, but when he said it, he spelled it wrong. It's two C's, Dave, two C's, not one. Acclimatized. There you go. So that's good. Thanks for getting me that, Dave. It was hard to say. Hard to say. Okay, so the capital budget is released. That's right. All 330 or so pages of it is now on niagarafalls.ca. And you can go through it, and it's what they're going to be talking about at the November 25th capital budget meeting in City Hall. So you can go through it, and I'm going to go through it. I already started. I've got through about 62 pages so far looking for efficiencies. And of course, I can only see entries. You can't drill down the entries to see exactly what money's being spent on. It gives you a number, but it really doesn't outline a lot of exact items. So you can go there, you can check it out yourself, see what you think, go through the 330 pages. And if you find any efficiencies there, let me know. I'll talk about them on air. I mean, it's your money. They are spending. You do have a say. But if you don't look at the budget, you don't go through it and email your city councilors, then you have no say. I took a preliminary look at it. Like I say, I got through 62 pages, about a fifth of it. And right off the bat, we're looking at an increase of close to 50% from around 50 million to 78.5 million. That's an ouch. That's an ouch. We're going up. We were around 55 million last year. It's going to 78.5 million this year. Now, don't get excited. Don't get excited. Your taxes are not going up by 50%. They're going up about 6%. That's what the city council staff was touting, 60%. That's the number they kind of released, so that you're going to be happy if they come in at 4.9 and save you a couple points, but it's really not a big deal. It's probably strategy more than it is reality. So it's going to go up to 78.5 million on the capital end of it, but it'll come down on the operating budget to get it within whatever they want to have it at. And they keep saying the consumer price index, or use some malarkey number to post it on, rather than inflation, or my preference would be zero, and it can be easily done. I've explained it many times, and I'll explain it again to you how simple this is. But I see. You can give you numbers that I feel need investigating. That's what I can do. But there's no real, like I said, drill downs to see exactly what they're spending the money on. For example, I'll give an example here. There's a line item on page 17, and you can look this up if you want. Go to the budget, go to page 17, and it says vehicles and equipment. Now the city is spending $9.6 million for vehicles and equipment, but there's really no indication of what that money is, where that money is coming from, and what it's going to be exactly be used on. You can't figure that one out. Now I know it's not coming from reserves because 2 years ago the squirrel, our financial officer, Tiffany Clark, grabbed 1.3 million from us to put in the reserve fund. And because the reserve funds were dry, she said, and that's because she just spent 14.9 million on equipment. That was a couple years ago. Now, if you want some history of that, um, we had already had our money together in a pool for the hospital, which is around $30 million. We had squirreled the money aside. It was growing with interest, and in 2028, it's our time to pay. So we had that money there, but there was a $1.3 million item in the budget to the hospital. And if it was, I think it was Lori Lococo, or was it Victor Peterangelo? One or the other. I can't remember. I want to give credit to the right person. It was one of the two. Got up and said, "Hey, I think it was Lori. We already gave everything we need to give to the hospital fund. So let's strike that 1.3 million off." Now, by striking it off, it would be coming back to the taxpayers because we don't have to pay it. It'd go back into revenue, which means we would see that equals to about a 1.3% decrease in our tax rate. But no, the squirrel grabbed a hold of it and said she didn't want to give it back to the taxpayers. She wanted to put it in the vehicle fund that they just spent $15 million on. So that went into the vehicle fund. And now they're spending $9.6 million on equipment and vehicles this year. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I can't. There's 330 pages to figure out where it's going. It's coming from here, this fund, that fund, reserve funds. Believe me, it's very, very thin. But I don't think it's coming from any reserves. We don't have any. Maybe 1.3 million's in that reserve or something, unless they squirreled more away while I wasn't looking. Because, like I said, last year they had $12 million extra to spend that we weren't supposed to have. Maybe some of that went into reserves. I don't know. It's hard to follow all this. But anyway, that's an example. When you see that number, you go, okay, where's it coming from? What's it buying? Do we really need the stuff it's buying? And the only way I can figure that out, or anybody can figure it out, is to know where they're allocating it and then go down and look at the equipment they're buying. Do they really need it? Do they really need it? So this is the kind of stuff you're going to see in this capital budget. Capital expenses, money being used to buy stuff, as opposed to the operating budget, which is money being used to operate the city on a daily basis. And we're going to get to that in January, and we'll talk about that when it gets here. Okay, so that's one example. So from funding sources, there is a line item saying that 9,610,232, which is the money for the vehicles and equipment. You can see it, but all you see is a line item on page 22 saying that's it, Municipal Works Division, and they're taking 8.9 million of that 9.6. But there's no itemized thing if they're buying pickup trucks or a new sweep. I don't know what they're buying. We can't see that. Now, are you confused yet? Well, you should be, and that's exactly what they want. You to be confused, trust them to do the right thing. And me, well, I don't trust a group of unqualified people to spend my money, right? Am I qualified? No. I don't have to be. It's my money. I don't have to be qualified. Now, if you go into each item, they break out the departments that need money for vehicles and equipment, for example. Planning, building, and development needs 253,000 of that 8.9 million for something. I don't know what. Add them all up, and you get the 9.6 million from page 17. But we still just don't know exactly what they're spending the money on. So this is what you're looking at, and to figure out where the money comes from, well, you got to fish around. Reserves, transfers from operating budget, transfers from casino. There's a lot of places it comes from. Not to mention grants and other stuff from the government. Another dandy is on page 25, Capital Project Administration. No entries, just one number under other. 2.535 million. 2.5 million with no explanation other than the money is coming from a transfer from the operating budget, which they haven't even set yet, but it's going to be a line item in there somewhere. Transferred from the water sewer budget, and exactly what it is and what's for, I don't know. Try and trace it. See, this is the problem. As the public looking at it, there's no way to trace anything through these 330 pages. It's really, really a tough slog to get through it. As money is being moved not only from reserves and anticipated revenue from taxes and other sources, but also from the operating account, which is due up in January. It has to be cross-referenced to this budget report to see if you can reconcile transfers in and out of the reserves in the operations budget that are coming into the capital budget. Where's my aspirins? Have you got a headache yet? You know, a lot of times we tend to blame council for these budgets and that kind of thing. But the reality is, which of them can follow the money and ensure taxpayers are getting value for their tax dollar? It's it's a chore. It's a task. The bottom line for most of us is how much of our taxes going up this year? We want to know. How much are you increasing our taxes? Because to go through this is almost impossible. And for you to find efficiencies when you don't know what efficiencies are possible, in other words, 9.6 million going to vehicles and equipment, well, let's see what you're spending it on. Does that pickup truck, do we really need a new one? Do we really need a new one? Or hybrid cars that you have to plug in, really saving us money when we have to find a place to plug them in and put up stations to plug them into at night. Like these are money that we don't know, we can't figure out because we don't know what they have and what they're doing with it. And that sewer truck, do we need a new one for $1.5 million? That sweeper, do we need a new one for $500,000? Or can we get by with the old ones? We don't know. Are they buying extra sweepers and stuff like that because there's more streets now? We don't know. I'm not saying that they're wasting the money. I'm just saying that we don't know. And to do a deep dive on this for the public is pretty well, I mean, it's really impossible. You have to spend so many hours on it that you just probably couldn't do it. You get a headache before you stopped. So another entry that says other with a price tag of 2.5 million. Well, what is it? Where is it? Where's the money coming from? Where's it going? You get the picture. You get the picture. So we're at the mercy of the CAO and staff, for example. On page 37 of the budget, the Fire Services Branch wants 128,000 for 3 new self-contained breathing apparatus decontamination washers. So they use the breathing apparatus when they go into a fire, and then when they come out, all their equipment and everything's dirty. So they want to buy these decontamination washers. They have one, but they want 3 more. Do they need three more? I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But at $42,700 a copy, isn't that something somebody should be asking? Especially when their budget's 30 million and probably going to be going up. Whatever. We don't know yet. So it's up to our counselors to ask that question. Do you think our counselors are going to ask that question? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Last year, when the capital budget came up of all these lines of expenses, nobody asked a question. I think we had Councillor Lori Lococo, who had a page where she found efficiencies all laid out in a grid. She did her job, but the other ones didn't say anything. No hands up, no questions of expenditures. I think Mona Patel, Councillor Patel, said send it back to staff and let them figure it out. Let them find efficiencies. Mona, I'm talking to you now. You do realize staff made this budget and they sent it to you. Do you really expect to send this back to staff for them to find efficiencies when they already gave you the budget? Oh, yeah, it's called the mayor's budget. The mayor didn't do anything with it. What did he do? They brought it to him and said it's going to be 8%. He said, we can't have 8% because everybody will freak out. Make it 6%. Okay, here's 6%. Now let's take it to council and it'll be 5%. We saved you a percent. I mean, it's a game, right? So, Mona, if you send it back to them, you think they're going to find any efficiencies? No. What they're going to come back and tell you is that if you want more efficiencies, you have to cut services. And people are going to be mad. But that's not true. That's just fear mongering. It's not true. It's the only place we can find. We have to cut services. It's not true. It's not true at all. So that was useless. And then I think Councillor Van Nieuwesteg, another one, she said, oh, maybe we can cut $50,000 off the fire department. Woohoo! $50,000 of a $30 million budget. Boy, you did your homework. You found $50,000 out of a $30 million budget. Irrelevant. It doesn't matter at that point. Would you feel better if the budget was 29,990 950,000? You think that's a lot better than 30 million? Come on. You got to do better than that if you're going to find efficiencies. Don't come and just play the game like you actually did something. Hey, I just found 128,000 maybe. I could find a lot more than that. Hey, so they want three more, $42,700 a copy. Do they need it? I don't know. Do they want it? Yeah, they want it. Sure, everybody wants everything. I want a Rolls Royce. I don't have a Rolls Royce. I want one. Taxpayers will buy me one. I'll take it. I don't think they'd be too happy about it, though. So, how's it going to be paid for? The $128,000? Well, through the $9.6 million vehicle and equipment money listed on page 17. And this is what I mean. You have to go through 330 pages and pull out all these vehicle and equipment expenditures and somehow try to add it up to that. Now, 8.9 million is going to the city maintenance yard or whatever it goes to. So we found a lot of it. Now, they say they're going to get a grant for $128,000. Okay, but what if they don't? Yeah, we're going to front them the money, and this grant's going to come in and cancel it out if they get it. What if they don't get it? And it's really funny when they say they're going to depend on grants, because remember what they said about the casino money? Oh, we can't allocate more money to the taxes to make your taxes zero because the casino the government could cancel it at any time. And that is a bunch of bullshit. You know why it's a bunch of bullshit? I'm going to tell you why. Because the government can cancel any program at any time. So if you base everything on that it can be canceled at any time, how are you going to run a budget? Hey, they cancel the speed cameras at any time. Anything could be canceled. So don't use that as an excuse for casino money. Please. Please. I'm hoping the citizens of Niagara Falls are smarter than that. Oh, man. So what if we don't get the grant? Then we're on the hook for 128 grand. Do they need it? I don't know. Do they want it? Yes. I want everything. Everybody wants everything. So this is why council's got to go through this. But it's so hard. I mean, what are you going to do? Go to the police station and see how many times they wash all this equipment, and if one can handle it, I mean, maybe two can handle it. We can save ourselves 80 or 90,000 off the budget. Your pennies add up to be dollars eventually. And these thousands of dollars adds up to millions of dollars. And every time we get to 700,000, cha-ching, it's a percentage off our tax bill. Anyway, it's really an exercise in futility. It's virtually impossible to follow everything, follow the money. Every page is connected to another page, with just connected to 10 more pages. It's crazy, a plethora of wants from every department with no real way to check them out to see if all items are needed. A lot of wants. Are they needed? We don't know. We don't know. Just we go down there and look. Somebody does an audit, takes an audit, okay, you want 8.9 million, let's see what you're spending it on, and then decides whether we can make do with what we have and we don't have to spend that money, or, well, they absolutely need it, so we got to spend it. And, I always say, like, that they pass a budget, raise our taxes because they need more money to cover the deficit. We've seen this so many times now. Then miraculously, during the budget year, like for 2025, they needed us to pay in the budget another 4.9% last year. But miraculously, they found 12.766 million over and above what was approved in the capital and operating budgets. They gave us a 5% increase because they didn't have the money, but somehow during the year they found 12.7 million. So we could have had a zero tax increase last year. They found 12.7 million. Now where is it? I don't know. It goes into the generator, the operating or cap. I don't know where it goes, but the reserves, because the squirrel loves to pack it in reserves. So we never know really, truly. Oh, we know we have 12.7 million. Where is it? They didn't use it to drop our taxes. I mean, stay tuned over the next few weeks as we move into the November 25th date to review the capital budget, see what councilors have to say if they're interested, or they're just going to sit there as the guy goes through it and gives us the lowdown. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go through the rest of it page by page. Don't worry. I'm going through it. I'll find more stuff to talk about. But you really should go through it yourself. You should go to niagarafalls.ca, find that budget, and go through it and see what you think. Maybe you can find some efficiencies that I didn't see or that I didn't think were that important. Like there's money that does have to be spent on whatever. There is money in there that has to be spent on things. We're 3 or 4 million into this technology now, this upgrading our systems for technology. And there's money that has to be spent on an ongoing basis in the operating budget for it. And plus, we're going in phases, so there's more money that has to be spent on that to upgrade. I mean, once we're into it halfway, you can't just stop. You gotta finish it off. So any money that's being spent on that, I mean, Keikatsu Fai, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't just leave it halfway. That's dumb. You got a half system that works. That's even worse. Okay, so it looks like the high priority $750,000 on page 47 of the capital budget for the mayor CEO's office is going to be used to do something. And I'm going to come back and tell you what it's going to be used for in a moment. First, I have to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And you get these days, like, the crappy days, you just don't feel like cooking. So I've had it. I don't feel like cooking anything today. I've worked all day. It's a crappy day out. The barometer's dropping. I got a bad sinus headache. Let's just order pizza. I do it all the time. Where do I order it from? Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Why do I order it from Pete's Pizza? Because I'm a pizza snob and I want my pizza right. They use the Mancini family recipe for their crust and sauce. Been around 40 years, tried and true, unbelievable. Then they take a mix of brick and mozzarella cheese and they put it on the pizza in the right ratio with the sauce. So you can have a great taste between both of them. Taste the sauce and taste the beautiful cheese. Now you take their fresh toppings and you put it on that pizza. And you know what? You got yourself a winner. They put it in the oven, cook it to perfection, slide it out. You got a hot pizza that is consistent every time. They know what they're doing. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They have a new location on Thorlstone Road at Kaler, the old pie guy's place. Hey, the Northwest of Niagara Falls gets to have a good pizza too. They also have a full menu. If you like wings, they got wings. You like poutine, they got poutine. They got steak and cheese poutine, chicken parm sandwiches, panzerotti. They have it all. They got a threefold menu with everything on it. You're not going to go wrong. You're going to find something you like. Give them a call, 905-374-2222. Give them a call. Get your pizza. You know you want one. Why fool around? Just order it. Get a nice pizza. You deserve it. Especially after looking at this taxes. You deserve it. Spend your pizza money before they take it at City Hall. Pete's Pizza, Victoria Avenue, 2 locations to serve you. You can't beat it. Go to petespizzavictoria.ca to check out all they have, and they use Dine and Skip and all the other services. You can't go wrong. Support our sponsors. They support the show. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Thank you so much for watching the show, supporting the show, subscribing to the show, and supporting our great, great corporate sponsors. We love to support small business in Niagara Falls. Okay, so $750,000 on page 47 of the capital budget for the mayor's CEO's office. It's going to be used to develop dun, da, 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 the Meteor crater. That's right. The Meteor crater looks like something's going to happen. I was waiting for a 3-eye atlas to land here, but it didn't. So apparently it's going to be developed into a 10-story apartment building that is focused on attainable and subsidized housing. Something that we really need in the city. Now I'm going to translate this to you. Because attainable and subsidized housing will quickly turn into student housing for the University of Niagara Falls Diploma Mill. I mean, seriously, you know that's going to happen, right? Unless they pass a bylaw that students can't rent these places, that's what's going to happen. And if you believe that they're going to use it for attainable and affordable housing and subsidized housing, unless there's a big grant from the government for them to do that, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be for student residents, for students for the University of Niagara Falls. If you believe it's going to be for sustained or subsidized housing and attainable housing, I think that you're in line to buy some of the swampland in Florida that I own. I mean, if you want insurance for locals and not for offshore students, make that rule. No student housing allowed in the building. Now, if you're interested in seeing more about this, which I am very interested in my Meteor crater, I hope they call it the Meteor Building when they build it. Wednesday, November 19th, 4:30, it's going to be a meeting at the Memorial Room in the Gale Center. City staff and the applicant will be available to present the proposal and answer questions. I'm going. I have an appointment that day. I'm canceling it because I want to go to this thing. Comments can be provided verbally at the meeting, so you're going to be able to get up and ask questions or submit in writing. Bingo! 4:30, November 19th, Wednesday, at the Memorial Room at the Gale Center. I think this is one meeting I just got to go. I mean, how can I not go? My Meteor crater being taken away. I mean, There's a lot of people that are mad it was taken away in the first place because it was a healing garden. There was a city parking lot, and at one time a city market. Now, who knows? These people could attend the meeting and cause a little bit of trouble. You never know. They're pretty unruly on the internet, on Facebook. They could come to this and they could start a big kerfluffle, which would be interesting. And I got to thank my buddy John Ringo Beam for giving me the heads up on this one. Thanks, Johnny. I really, really appreciate it. And are you going to go, John? I'm going to go. Gary Wilkins, you going? Who's going? Maybe Mike Cushman, because that land's contaminated. They spent $2 million to clean it up. They probably spent $4 million on it already. So it's going to be interesting to see what they say about that. There you go. We'll see. Okay. Moving on. I think we're going to stick in the city for the whole hour here. I got lots to talk about. Okay, Eric Idle, the general manager of municipal works for Niagara Falls, says that the jawbreaker, which should be a lawbreaker, is going to get a remake starting this month. How nice is that? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the jawbreaker is the stretch of Portage Road from Althea Street to Thorold Stone Road. The worst road in Canada. Has to be. I'm telling you, when you drive down there, you could possibly lose teeth, your kidneys will be destroyed, and the suspension on your car needs a total redo. So this is going to save us from that. A full reconstruction of water main, sewers, curbs, the whole 9 yards. Now, if I was a betting man, I'd say that's going to take 3 to 5 years. But who knows? Have they finished Drummond Road yet? I don't think they have. I think they still got more to do over there, too. And that was what, 5 years ago? Was it a COVID project? Let me put it this way. It's long enough ago that I don't remember. It was a mess for a long time. Now, loving to waste taxpayer dollars on nonsense, this new program that the city has started, Operation Smooth Roads. And that's part of Operation Smooth Roads, this big new thing that they got in the city. It's going to have signs announcing the start of the project and signs when the project is completed saying, mission accomplished. Why? Do we really need signs? Just do the damn work. We'll know when it started because we won't be able to go anywhere. And we'll know when it's finished because we'll be able to get through. Do we really need to spend money on signs? Like mission accomplished. Remember last time I saw a mission accomplished sign, it was when George Bush stood on the front of the USS Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier, when he finished bombing Iraq, which incidentally never had anything to do with the Twin Towers, but I digress. They're going to have that big mission accomplished sign, which, I mean, they should throw a party for the city when they mission accomplish all the roads that they need to be fixed in this city. I don't understand why the city's wasting money on this crap. Who knows? I think we'll be able to tell. I think we're smart enough to tell when it starts and when it ends. I don't think we need signs. When you go down there and you can go more than like 2 kilometers an hour, you'll know it's ready. But I think we should get a sign that says the Jawbreaker. I think we should keep that. I like that name, the Jawbreaker. You just keep that. Put a sign up. Home of the Jawbreaker. Former home of the Jawbreaker when they fix it. Okay, some good news for Niagara. And this I really, really liked. Finally, something I like in the news. A new master plan for the Niagara District Airport covering the years 2025 to 2045. How cool is that? It's being unveiled. It projects over $1 billion in economic output, carrying over 7 million passengers through the region at that time. Hey, we said if Stan Cho, tourism minister, wants to double the amount of tourists that come to Niagara Falls every year, he wants to take it from 13 million to 30 million, that the Niagara District Airport is going to be a big part of that. It's going to be at the heart of the expansion. A basically general aviation hub right now. It's going to be transformed into an international hub, international airport, commercial passenger hub, they call it, as flights take off and land on a regular basis, carrying tourists from all over the world. I love it. Several upgrades are necessary. More parking, yes. Extending the main runway, yes. And expanding the terminal building, as well as establishing amenities for Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, and the Customs and Border Patrol Security Agency. That's cool. They're going to have pre-clearance and clearance there. That's awesome. It's great. Greg Wright, Greg Wright, isn't that Wright? Isn't that appropriate for airplanes? Remember the Wright brothers? Greg Wright, chair of the Airport Commission, says that as one of Canada's top tourism region, Niagara deserves an airport that makes it convenient for national and international visitors to enjoy our region's wineries, restaurants, and attractions. The vision outlined in our master plan demonstrates how strategic, sustainable investments in air access will boost tourism, strengthen our economy, and position the airport as an indispensable gateway to our region. I think this is long overdue. We'll see immediate benefits from a functioning international airport in the area, and locals will be able to take a 15-minute drive to their Florida, Caribbean, or European travel airplane flying destinations. Yeah, we take a 15-minute drive, park, and get the hell out of here. I know Porter Airlines is probably chomping at the bit for this one because they're expanding, and they would probably love to have a terminal at the Niagara District Airport. They're expanding their business, and this area would make perfect sense for them. Yeah, I think that would be perfect. I mean, this really is a turning point for tourism in the Niagara region. We'll be in the realm of some of the biggest players in the game. I think part of this plan should be to ensure there's room for expansion. They'll need more land to handle what is about to happen. I mean, we're years behind even Niagara Falls, New York, for an airport. Time to catch up. Thanks to Ray Spateria, the review, for the great article. And may I encourage Stan Cho to lay down several $billions to create a transportation system to get people from that airport into Niagara Falls. And of course, my thing is a monorail. That's right. A monorail that goes from there to Niagara Lake and down the parkway to Niagara Falls. We need something like that. It connects with our main terminal over here that I've planned on by the old Kimberly Clark building on the Thoroldstone Road extension. That's going to run right down here through Park Street, around Queen Street, and right down to the tourist areas. Hey, I'll never live to see this come to fruition, but I have my dreams about it. Okay, got to get to my third sponsor, Hamill Machine Company, and then we're going to get to the $78 billion deficit that Carney's going to run for our budget, for the Canadian budget. It's running a $78 billion deficit. Talk about that in a minute. But first, I want to talk about a company that's been here since 1948. That's Hamill Machine Company. I'm losing my voice. Hamill Machine Company, you know, when industry moves to Niagara Falls, and we're seeing some industries coming over this way, they want to make sure there's a good machine shop to take care of their needs. And what are their needs? Well, when a machine breaks down, they're losing money because production isn't running. So they need somebody in there to fix that machine. Hamel Machine Company are the guys that do it. They've been doing it for the wine industry. They've been doing it for the agricultural product industry. They've been doing it for the food industry for years. And they have a highly skilled staff, trained and skilled staff that know what they're doing in design, fabricating. They do it all. They've got the experience, they've got the knowledge. So, what does that mean for the company? Well, parts have to be flown in from who knows where these days. They get parts from all over the world. No, Hamel can go in there, take a look at the machine, either fix it, reverse engineer the part they need. They have 3D printers, water jet cutters, and get the machine up and running quickly so that they don't lose production and they don't lose money. That's where Hamel Machine Company is at their finest, innovating. As a matter of fact, they've innovated different parts that they ship all over the world now because they've made the machines that they fit better. More production, they work faster, they're more efficient. That's what Hamel Machine Company does. Check out their website, hamelmachine.ca. You can go see all the beautiful work they do for the wine industry, for the local regional governments, made of the mist when they need to have work done down there. Well, it used to be made of the mist, now it's Hornblower. Or just the regular guys like me who say, hey, I need a set of gates for my backyard. Can you design them and build them? They can do all that. Hamel Machine Company, hamelmachine.ca. Support our sponsors. They support the show. They support the city. They're good corporate citizens. And believe me, they're really, really good people. Okay, so a $78 billion deficit Carney's going to run. Like, we're not in debt enough. We're at a couple $1 trillion now. And that's his plan. We're going to run a $78 billion deficit, but I know it's going to be probably $178 billion by the time he finishes. This guy gives away money like there's no tomorrow. We've been through 10 years of this wasteful spending. Now we're going to go through another one? Yeah, $78 billion. Yeah, they always say that. There's going to be more. He's going to be giving away money to everybody. Now, the interesting question here is that we're going to see if it's going to be supported by the other parties, or these parties are going to give a non-confidence vote and bring this goofy government down. Now, Pierre Poilievre said he is not going to support it. He wants only a $42 billion deficit. Oh, mamma mia. Does anybody say that we should balance the budget and not have any deficit? Is that impossible? A balanced budget? It must be. I've never heard anybody say that. But he wants 42 billion, so they're not voting for it. They're not going to vote for it. But my buddy Chris Rodriguez, who was in here on Tuesday talking about this, said he thinks the conservatives are looking ahead to the next budget to bring the government down once they prove that this budget is going to kill everybody and things are going to get worse, and then they're going to jump in there. Let the liberals hang themselves if they haven't already. So he doesn't think they're going to bring the government down. Poilievre said they're not accepting the 42 or the $78 billion deficit that the liberals want to run. Deficit spending is terrible. Trudeau did it for 10 years. Don't you remember? Don't worry about it. The budget will take care of itself. The economy will take care of itself. We don't have to worry about it. Well, look where we are. $2 trillion in debt as a country. $65,000 if you're born today, you automatically owe $65,000. Okay. Now, we heard what Poilievre said. They're not going to approve it. But that's just the conservatives. The liberals are only like 2 or 3 seats away from a majority. The Yves-Francois Blanchet, leader of the Bloc Québécois, says by the G's, we don't get the concessions we want. We want more money for old age. We want more transfer payment. And Tabernac, we're not going to vote for this budget the way it doesn't matter, Blanchet. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you say because Don Davies, the interim leader of the NDP, which are basically orange liberals, he sat there hemming and hawing. Well, we don't know. Oh, we have to look at this budget and see exactly what it says. We can't make any decisions, which means that they're going to vote for it. And all they need is two people, I think, two or three people to vote for it. And it's a done deal. That's it. Game over. Good night. Good night, Irene. And guess what? We had a guy, didn't know there were rhinos in Canada. Well, there are. There are. This guy named Chris D'Entremont from Nova Scotia crossed the floor to the Liberals. MP from Nova Scotia, Conservative MP, crossed the floor over to the Liberals, saying that the PCs led by Polyev do not represent him with their what he called negative approach to politics. And the MP says there are others like him that are ready to jump. These are called rhinos in the United States. Well, all they need is two more people to jump. The Libs have a majority government and have free reign to do whatever they want in Canada. And you can imagine that there's some major negotiating going on right now to give the Liberals the power, even though we didn't vote for it. Now, this D'Entremont guy, his position, they should have another election because the people there voted for a conservative guy for a reason. They voted conservative because they believe in the ideals of the conservative government. Now, he's jumping ship. He's a liberal. They didn't vote for a liberal. So why does this guy just get to jump without having to have an election to see what the people want? If they want to keep the conservative angle or they want to vote for the liberal. That's the fair way to do it, not just to him to jump over automatically he's a liberal and they got another seat. That doesn't make sense. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this and where it's going to go. This is getting interesting. I think November 19th is the date they're going to vote on this budget and either turn it down, non-confidence, or they're going to say, okay, let's go. We accept the $78 billion deficit. That'll turn into a lot more than that. We know that. We know that. But hey, what are you going to do? Call the election. It was fixed probably because nobody I know voted for Carney. Nobody. I didn't vote for Carney. Did you vote for Carney? I never voted for Carney. Not one person I know voted for him, and he almost got a majority. Who voted for this goofball? So, people are full of baloney. And if he ran again tomorrow, they have another election, he'll probably win again. It's just the way it is in Canada. The demographics have changed in Canada. It's not the Canada we used to have. Conservatives don't have a chance. They don't have a prayer anymore. It's over. All these immigrants, all these special interest groups, all these public service unions have been given free rides, and they vote for liberals because they're not going to kill the goose, the golden goose. Okay, staying with Canada, Bombardier, the government-supported jet manufacturer that never met a bailout they didn't like. How many billions have we given to them already? They're said to be in talks with Saab, Sweden, to possibly produce the Gripen jet fighter that Canada wants to buy. And they're going to produce them in Canada. How about that? In a joint effort, Bombardier will build the fighters that Canada wants to buy under the supervision of Saab on Canadian soil, employing thousands along the way, we hope. Now, this all sounds good, right? It's great news. We build them here because they want to buy 88 fighters. We already bought, I think we're committed to 16. They need another 72 with billions of dollars. To produce them here would be a good thing. I'd rather have Canada produce them without Saab. Hey, but I digress. But it all sounds good, right? Well, maybe. You have to remember that Canada has already paid for 16 F-35s from the U.S., and they're going to have to take delivery of them. They're paid for. Those jets are quite different from the Gripens. So now you have to service the cost to integrate them with the F-35s. They have to have the same avionics, the same systems in them to be able to talk to each other to make them effective. And they have to be effectively talking to the United States if, in other countries if we're going to use them in any capacity for peacekeeping or whatever we use them for. They have to be able to interact with other systems. So now we're going to need two of everything. These have to be integrated. They have to have their own systems, their own mechanics, their own parts, which are billions of dollars of parts, service. And we're going to need another one for the F-35s. The cost is going to be huge. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to get the F-35s, get them from the United States. We already have to buy them. Now get the other F-35s from the United States. Fill out the order with the United States. Shake a hand with Trump. Have one manufacturer, one kind of fighter that is integrated with the United States planes. Just get them from our closest friend, shake hands, smooth relations, get Trump back to the negotiation trail after their relation damaging elbows up campaign and the attacks launched by Big Mouth Billy Bass in Queen's Park. Why not? Doesn't that make sense? I know we're not talking about common sense at all here, because common sense is seldom common, but to me, this makes sense. Let's just make friends with the United States again, work with them, use their F-35, smooth this over. Maybe they can build our submarines that we're trying to get built in Korea and Germany, which makes no sense at all. I don't even know why we need submarines. For what? We have Mr. Submarine. Why do we need submarines? Well, we don't. We don't. It's just a big expenditure, another waste of money. And I got all these stuff to talk about. I never got to it because of the city stuff and the budget and everything. I'll get to it tomorrow. All this other stuff. I'm going to write it down right now. We'll get to all the other stuff tomorrow. We got to talk about the election in New York City and what a mess that is. We've got to talk about Pam Bondi investigating BLM. We've got to talk about wars, Venezuela. We've got to talk about this crash with the UPSMD 11, St. Louis, and what's going on with that. We got lots to talk about tomorrow. I got it here. We'll start off with city stuff, and then we'll get to that tomorrow. Until then, I'm done. I'm done for today. It's 1 o'clock. I'm out of here. Sorry I took so long to talk about the city, but you know what? We have to know what's going on. You have to understand what they're doing over there. And how it affects you is they pick your pocket for your tax dollars. And it affects everything down the line. Chris Regis and I talked about that on Tuesday. How when they raise taxes on your property, it affects everything you do, everything you buy. All those retailers get their property taxes raised either through leases they have or through buildings that they own. And they charge you more. It's just not our property taxes that go up 5%. It runs the gamut of every service that we use. When it costs more for businesses to operate, they pass it on to us. So you got to be aware. You got to know what's going on. Go through that budget, NiagaraFalls.ca, 2026 capital budget coming out November 25th. We'll see what happens with it. But you know what? Take an interest. Stick to this program right here. Stick to this podcast, because I'm going to tell you all about it. I don't know if there's another podcast that does that. I don't know. I haven't seen one, but I'm going to be here talking about it. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamel Machine Company. My name is Paul Kielemere. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q Radio, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, across from the Meteor Crater. Maybe I can say Meteor Building someday, because it's going on, and I see a KC-135 super tanker flying over there. Have a great day. God bless you all. See you tomorrow at noon, sharp. Promises made, promises kept. Your City, Your Voice. I'm out of here. Have a great day, everybody.